It's been a little bit long time we have been discussing on this subject, my friends, my teammates from Goa. We actually made a group as well. It is Goa Under 17 champions. We won in 1990. The subject goes like this, that I've been very lucky to feature in some of the major events for Goa in the cricket, though I must have played a little bit here and there. I was lucky to be featuring in the first ever victory for Goa, outright victory, and that was at any levels. And then I happened to be a part of the first Goan team that reached the finals at any levels. That was under 15. Both were under 15, in fact. And then there was an event where Ranji Trophy we made a 2008 when I made a comeback, a small comeback after about 16 years. And that happened to be the first year Goa qualified for knockout. And the most important of the events which has happened was that under 17 victory for us for Goa. That was in 1990. Way back around 12 months back, I started a group where I tried to collect all the guys and we wanted to get together, put them on the group together. We almost have everybody now on the group. And we are planning an event to celebrate on the 1st of February. We were trying to plan something, a get together, and then the corona came through. It's been 30 years. Goa under 17 team were the champions of the Vijay Hazare Trophy, competing in the South Zone with different top teams: Tamil Nadu, Hyderabad, Kerala. See, this generation, which at under 17 we were, which I say like 72, 73, was a generation where cricketers like Rahul Dravid, Saurav Ganguly, Sachin Tendulkar, Vinod Kambli, VVS Lakshman, the best of the forefronts of frontiers of Indian cricketers were happening and being playing in different zones of India. That's why this victory for us under 17 in 1990 is a major victory, and it changed the course of the game and the lookout of it in India. You can, in Goa especially, you'll come to know about it very much when everybody is talking about it. I have taken MANGUESH KAKODKAR, who is actually the senior most in the lot. He didn't get a game to play in that 3 games we won outright. But he is the most senior cricketer who was a part of us and very close link and very nostalgic personality, who has a very emotional character, who I have asked him to talk about a full league tournament, how it happened and how Goa qualified and how Goa won. He has his own views and he has presented it. Also, there are bites of board president, representative from Goa who played for board president level, RAJESH NAIK, SUDIN KAMAT, India under 17 player SUDIN KAMAT from Goa is a major part of that team, of the tournament. SANDESH DESAI, frontier of the tournament for Goa. This tournament actually, before Mangesh starts, let me give you some brief. We had a coach, Chandrakant Chede, who was guiding us on all the basics, and we did a lot good and started playing cricket at very early age, taking basics from him. At the same time, Goa had got a Ranji Trophy status in around 1986-85, I guess. And at that particular time, Goa was just new to the first class cricket, and everybody was not looking that high to Goan team. And we had a coach coming down from Patiala, basically, Mohinder Singh Pal Bedi, who was asked to take charge of this us as an association, along with Chene sir and him. And then he took over the boys. He made his own front of his boys. Like, we had about 6, 7, 8 regular guys which featured in his teams. We went to Kerala in Trivandrum 1980, I guess it's sometime in 1988, 87, I guess, under 15. And we managed to beat Karnataka, a very good side then, and also Kerala and Andhra, I guess, and we reached the finals. That was the first time we reached the finals. And Bedi sir was not happy to lose. The function was happening, and Bedi sir was actually not happy to lose the finals. And he made up his mind that he is going to take Goa to different levels. Mohinder Singh Pal Bedi, a left-arm spinner himself, played cricket, a lot of cricket in Punjab, proper NIS coach, and was a different character altogether. So this, as Mangu we call it, as Mangesh speaks about the tournament and compares few innings here and there to few victory here and there to the epic Australia-India match and, where India was down under and we won. I will also compare it to something like little low profile, something like Kapil Dev's Devils, because we had a captain Prashant Kakode who was also like that, because many unnoticed innings of 40s and 50s and 5-wicket haul here and there. He did the job for the team whenever was required. So we had the boys, we were like his Devils, and he took us on to play game by game, and each game we won outright. Andhra Pradesh we beat Tamil Nadu, extraordinary team, we beat them, and then we beat Hyderabad, who Hyderabad has regularly been bashing Goa at all levels, because they had that aura of beating Goa. I don't know what was it there all in the mind, but they were shocked when we beat them in the finals. Now, all that happened, I'll come back talking to about each players. I'll put you across to Mangesh Kakodkar. Let me give you a brief of Mangesh Kakodkar. First, Goa team in juniors was where we played under 12. And Mangesh was the captain of the team, under 12. So, first junior team to be representing, Mangesh was the captain of it. And then Mangesh joined us, totally different personality, was become a hard-hitting batsman. And like I've always looked up to him like somebody like Senthil Nathan at that particular time, little stouty, but he could clear the fence. He did not get to play a single game. He was almost a 12-man for all the games. But he had a close connection with the players and Bedi sir. And what he talks is so, what do you call, effortlessly reaching to that zone. So let's hear him. We'll have a bite from SUDIN where he speaks and tells us what we were and what we became. SANDESH, DESAI also will be talking and telling us a few things here and there. I'll be projecting all the players who have represented that particular team and their current pictures and what they are doing. And I will come back again describing and concluding the video, which we are doing because we are not able to have a get together actually. If it was a get together, we could have it in a better shape. But as we are going to a close down, what do you call that, period where we are locked down period. So we are trying to see what we can do and make many of the Goans remember those days. There were people like many very extraordinary people who supported us on the cause. Another person whom I would say, Damaskar sir, and he was a selector then. He was taken the charge. He had his own views, this personality. He had his own concepts of seeing the Goan team move ahead. Now my idea of the, before I hand over it to Mangesh, what I want to tell is, Bedi sir also made a plan to win a trophy for Goa. And he started it all like that. He kept few of his boys intact. Even while selecting the players, there was never any player, normally we get selected, we have 15 players and then we all are fighting a place. We all knew our places, we all knew our jobs to do, what we had to do at that particular tournament. And many instances you will come to know where it has been that we worked as a team, where we slog the day and some, for example, a very good example before we move on, Andhra Pradesh. I still remember the first day we bowled 90 odd overs and we gave them only 190 runs, I think something like that, so 72. and three of us bowled 20 plus overs, 22 or 20, and we just ended up giving less than 30 runs and less than 35 or 40 runs. We had tied them around, and Arvind Mishra came and took 5 wickets and went across. Now this shows the team spirit, the planning, the concept. This was like a well-planned victory. Every victory was an outright, and we move on with that. I'm handing over to Mangesh to start his beautiful saga of expression.
Hi guys, I'm here to talk about the under 17 victory back in 1990, where Goa defeated some of South Zone's top teams, and for the first time in the history of Goan cricket, Goa went on to win a tournament. It was a fantastic victory. For the first time, Goa had achieved the level of success that it had. That victory changed lives of many cricketers and changed the way people looked at Goa. We'll run through the entire 15 days, the way Goa went about doing its work, the way Goa went about winning the games. But at this point, it might be important to say that though we achieved this victory in 1990, but the seeds for this particular victory ran almost a year back. We had our coach Mohinder Singh Bedi, who taught us how to win games. A year back, or around 7 or 8 months back, Goa under 15 cricket team, where I myself was a part of it, went to Thiruvananthapuram, and we had reached the finals. We had defeated teams like Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and we reached the finals and lost to Hyderabad in that tournament. Many of the players who played this under 17 in 90, which won the under 17 tournament, were a part of that particular under 15 team as well. The captain was the same, Prashant Kakode. I was there. Rajesh NAIK was there. Ambey Parwatkar was there. Manoj Kherde was there. So many of the team members, Paresh Mishkin was there. Many of the team members who were there in the under 17 were also there in that particular under 15, which had toured Thiruvananthapuram around 7 months back. So what happened in the January of 1990 was a run-up to what was already being sold a year back by the coach Mohinder Singh Bedi. It was a fantastic tournament for us under 17 when we all got together. The tournament was hosted by Goa. The 3 games that were played by Goa, 2 of them were on turf wickets at the Arlem Cricket Grounds, and the finals were played on a matting wicket at the iconic MCC. I don't quite remember where the selections took place, but due credit should go to the selection committee, who chose perhaps one of the best teams. Not only the best teams, but also one of the best leaders. Prashant Kakode led this particular under 17 team, and I cannot think of anybody else who could have led the team in the manner which Kakode could. Though we all at that time were in the age group of 14, 15, 16, but I still remember Kakode at that age to be like a father figure. He was somebody who commanded that respect. He had a certain knack to do things. He had a certain style, and everybody followed. He had a way with relations, and I could, if perhaps I could extrapolate it and give an analogy, he was like Imran Khan of 1992, which went on to win the World Cup for Pakistan. So Prashant Kakode had that aura around him. So again, hats off to the selection committee to go and select a leader who at that time was a fast bowler. And we know historically the the baton to lead a team always goes to a batsman. Historically, if you see around Indian cricket or any other cricket team, it's the batsman who goes on to lead a team. So usually, even in the history of Goan cricket, we perhaps would see a batsman leading, but to go to a fast bowler and to select him, to have that confidence in him, hats off to the selection committee. Speaking about the committee, I don't quite remember who were there at that time in GCA, but some of the names that I do remember, Damaskar sir, my first coach, Vinod Damaskar was my first coach back in '83 when he held a coaching camp, and that's where he taught me how to hold a bat. Some of the people whom I remember at that time were Sanjay Katkar. I don't know what capacity he was in, but there was Sanjay Katkar, there was Vinod Damaskar in the organizing committee and in the GCA. Prashant Joshi was also a part of this GCA management, and of course our coach Mohinder Singh Bedi, who actually taught us how to win games. A wonderful coach that came to Goa 3 years before this particular tournament. I attended a camp with him. Many of these guys were also in those camps, which finally led to this famous victory in Goa in 1990. Speaking of the tournament in itself, the games, as I mentioned, were held at Alem grounds. The first two games that we played were at Alem grounds. The finals were at MCC. The first game was with Andhra Pradesh. We played the game against Andhra Pradesh. Again, another interesting thing about this tournament and Goa's success has been that all three games Goa gained outright victories. There were no first innings lead. As you would know, in this short format long games, which were at that time 3-day games, the team which achieved the first innings lead was the victorious one. And it was always very difficult to achieve that particular success in this short format, to go out and win a game outright in a 3-day game. But Goa achieved success, and Goa achieved all outright victories in all these three games. The first game, the Andhra Pradesh, they batted first. They scored 197 odd runs. Goa went and got, I think, a 10-run lead. Goa went on to score 210. Andhra Pradesh in the second inning again scored around 200 odd runs, and then we required around 200 runs to win. That particular game, I remember, that's what led for us, that the drive was the success of these few players who made us believe that we could win tournaments. Of course, it was Mohinder Singh Bedi who always pushed us and made us believe in ourselves. But on the ground, these people, Arvind Mishra to start with, took 5 wickets in the first innings. What followed was Abrar Khan scoring a century and Vinay Palekar scoring 71, and Goa won the game against Andhra Pradesh with 7 wickets. Now, interestingly, talking about the great Arvind Mishra, I just mentioned that how a great leader Prashant Kakode is. If anybody could come close to Prashant Kakode in terms of leading a team, it was Arvind Mishra. Arvind Mishra had that political swagger, had the attitude, had a certain style, a fantastic human being, an all-rounder, a great table tennis player, a great cricketer, intellect, an entrepreneur. You could name it, and Arvind Mishra had it in him. Unfortunately, as you know, Arvind Mishra is no longer with us, and it's a great loss to the state of Goa and to so many people whom he touched lives. What a great friend he was. He was a great friend to me and many others, and we wish him wherever he is that he has found his peace. A great personality and a great loss to Goa. He was a fantastic performer. He opened the innings for Goa, and he used to bowl his leg spins, and he was wonderful. He was fantastic. So he started the success when he took 5 wickets in the first innings. What followed followed was a century by Abrar Khan, and then Vinay coming in and pitching in with 71 runs, and Goa going on to win that game with 7 wickets. What a victory! That led that particular win led the foundation to what was going to be Goa's future, to how people viewed Goa in the future, was decided in this first game. We went on to play the second game against Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu and Hyderabad, two of the strongest team in South Zone and two of the strongest team in India. You could see that in that era, 7 Karnataka players represented India. That was the South Zone for you. A very, very strong South Zone pool. 7 cricketers from Karnataka represented India sometime between 96 and 99. So these were the boys who played the junior level in the 90s. So that was the strength of the South Zone we were competing in. Amazing, amazing. I mean, this is just, I'm not prepared for this pitch, but this is just out of memory. Javagal Srinath, Prasad, Joshi, Dravid, Sunil David. There were around 7 players who represented at one point in time. They represented the Indian cricket international team, and that was the era we played in the South Zone pool. And now we were playing with Tamil Nadu, one of the strongest team, and this particular game changed the lives of so many people. And it was one of the game, if I could extrapolate this game and compare it, giving an analogy, I would compare it to the game between India and Australia back in 2001, when Australia made India follow on, and then Dravid and Lakshman went on to score those humongous runs, and we got them out. Against all odds, India won the game. Similarly, in a smaller frame, we did something exactly that. It was Tamil Nadu who went on to bat first. They scored 240 odd runs. Goa batted second, and Goa scored 203, giving away a crucial 40 odd runs. Now, what also is interesting, this particular game saw many heroes. Of course, the biggest hero of this game did go to SUDIN KAMAT, who scored 7 wickets. We'll come to that in a little while. But there were some small victories for everybody in this game. Goa were at one time 148 for 7. And just imagine if Goa were to unfold within that 20-30 runs, we would not have been talking what we are right now. What followed after 148 for 7 was some crucial partnerships for the 8th, 9th and 10th wicket. KAKODKAR scored 50 runs in the company of Ambey. Ambey scored 37. KAKODKAR and Ambey for the 9th wicket had a very good partnership before KAKODKAR got out at 50. Then Ambey and Deepak Vinodkar took the score to 203. From 148 for 7, we went on to score 203. Ambey scored 37 and Deepak Vinodkar remained not out on 23. That gap of 40 runs made the difference. Though it was a first inning lead of 43 runs, and as I mentioned earlier, the team which got the first innings lead were the ones who were declared victorious. We had other things in mind. I remember that particular evening when Goa conceded that 40 runs lead, and Tamil Nadu at that time were around 50 for 3 at the end of day 2. Ambey again had scarfed the prized wicket of Tanveer Jabbar before the end of the day. So Tanveer Jabbar, as many would know, is one of the star cricketers of Tamil Nadu with many centuries to his name, and he was one of the players we had to get out for us to be victorious, and Ambey scooped that wicket before the end of day 2. So when we went home, went to our hotel, we used to stay in this hotel called Apsara. Tamil Nadu were 50 for 3, a total lead of 90. And there the manager at Apsara always used to have a habit to ask people entering the canteen as to what happened on that particular day, get a synopsis of where the game was. And I remember there was a spinner, I think his name was Bal Subramaniam, who went on to play a lot of cricket after that, and he asked the guy what happened. I mean, what was the status of the game and who was winning. And the spinner Subramaniam said to him that 99.9% Tamil Nadu are winning, because they already got a lead of 40 runs and they are 50 for 3. So overall, they are 90 runs ahead with a day to play for. And our coach Mohinder Singh Bedi, who was sitting in the canteen, called this boy and told him what remains of this 100 of 99.3, and the boy very confidently said 0.01, sir. So Bedi told him, son, this 0.01% is enough for you tomorrow. This 0.01% is enough for you, and we will defeat you. Well, at that time it was a dream. Defeating Tamil Nadu with 7 wickets in hand, with conceding the first innings lead, nobody thought of. The next day, the game progressed. The first hour, nothing much was happening. I was at the third man boundary, and this particular instance, I feel, is one of the most memorable instances for me, because it changed the complexion of how cricket was viewed by Goa. It changed the careers of many people, and I feel this particular move, where I played a small part, was very vital in how people would look at Goa. Now, what's interesting was my part was just being a messenger here. Listen carefully. I was at the third man boundary when Mohinder Singh Bedi called out and told me to ask Prashant to get Sudin to bowl. During the drinks hour, I ran to Prashant and told Prashant and Sudin that Coach Mohinder Bedi is telling me to get you on the other end. And Sudin turned to me and said, I'm not feeling too well. I don't feel like bowling because I'm not in the best of health. I went back to my position at the turn of the over, and then Bedi sir again called out to me and said, why haven't Sudin come to bowl? And I told him I'll convey the message again. And again, during the turn of the over, I ran back to Sudin and Prashant and said, the coach is insisting that Sudin comes into bowl. Sudin did come on to bowl after that. Sudin did come on to bowl. Everyone knows what happened next. Sudin, in the next 1 hour, took 7 Tamil Nadu wickets. And Sudin, for conceding 40 runs, took 7 wickets. And around 120 odd runs, Tamil Nadu were all out. So Tamil Nadu were all out for 120, and after lunch, in around 60 overs, we required 160 to win. What followed was big innings by, if I remember correctly, it was Paresh Mishkin and Vinay Palekar, who went all guns blazing, and we had an outright, I think if I'm not mistaken, we had around 4-wicket victory over Tamil Nadu. A game that we won against all odds, a game which we won where nobody gave us a chance, and perhaps the first time in the history of Goan cricket we went on to defeat Tamil Nadu, a team of that stature and strength. That made us believe in ourselves truly and fully. we went on to reach the finals. The finals were to be played against Hyderabad at the MCC Stadium. What a game of cricket that was, which we won against Tamil Nadu. Of extremely memorable victory, which saw the lives made of so many people. SUDIN KAMAT for once. What a performance. 7 wickets. And SUDIN went on to become a great star for Goan cricket, a stalwart. After this particular performance, I think he went for the MRF Pace Foundation. He played a lot of Ranji games. He played a lot of senior cricket. He played for South Zone. The works. This game laid the foundation for success for many people. A brilliant game of cricket was played at that particular ground on Alem, where we defeated Tamil Nadu against all odds. Wonderful performance and a wonderful victory. That made us come to the Rajendra Prasad Stadium ground, MCC as we call it, Margam Cricket Club grounds, to play the finals again. Hyderabad, one of the strongest team. If one would have said that we could defeat Tamil Nadu and Hyderabad before the tournament, it was only perhaps Mohinder Singh Bedi who taught us to win, who instilled that particular confidence in us. And other than that, nobody quite believed that Goa could win games. We were just participants. We used to go participate and come back. In that participation, there were few who would go and perform. Many of us did not, and that was our way of getting about things until the time we started winning games. And after defeating Tamil Nadu, we started really believing in ourselves. The finals were Hyderabad played first, and they scored 300 odd runs. I think around 299 or something they scored. What followed was Goa going on to take a handsome lead of around 70 runs. Goa's first innings folded at 368. What a performance by the top order. Everybody in the top order performed. It was Sandesh who started, who gave us a great innings in the top order with 81. It was Abrar Khan again. After his century in the first game, he scored 88. Mishra missed his half century, I remember, by 2-3 runs. He was around 48. Paresh Mishkin followed his good performance in the semi-finals with a good 39. Palekar, again, Vinay Palekar had scored around 70 odd runs in the first game. He went on and played a great innings in the second, and again he was amongst the runs with a good 45. A great partnership between Abrar and Sandesh Duri, a partnership of 112, which laid I mean, those days these kind of partnerships for Goa were unheard of, and great partnership, 112 runs. We went on to take a lead of around 70 runs. The second innings, again, the performance of Prashant Kakode. He took 5 wickets in this game. The 7 wickets of Sudin was followed by 5 wickets by Prashant Kakode. Hyderabad were 138 all out at the end of the day, and we required some 70 odd runs. The next day, of course, we had a little bit of scare where we lost around 4 to 5 wickets, but safely we went on to win the game outright. So 3 outright victories, first with Andhra Pradesh, second with Tamil Nadu, third with Hyderabad. A beautiful performance, great performance. Arvind Mishra amongst the wickets, amongst the runs. Abrar Khan, century in the 80s. Dhuri, again 80s. Rajesh Naik, one of the most hardworking cricketers, the opener who would really make you pay. We would call him the wall. Who would spend endless hours at the wicket. Unfortunately, Rajesh Naik had to leave for a South Zone game and could not play the finals. Then we had Paresh Mishkin, Vinay Palekar, very successful. Manoj Kharde, his off spins and his contribution to this victory has been phenomenal. Ambey Parwatkar in all the games, especially Ambey Parwatkar's catch, I remember, if not mistaken, in the first game. was the talk of the town at that time. Ambey, Parwatkar, a team of people who had self-belief, who were trained extremely well, a great bond amongst everybody. Prashant Kakode, Arvind Mishra, myself, Dhuri, Ambey, Sandesh, Desai. I'm sorry, Sandesh Desai's contribution in both the games, first and the second game, again has been phenomenal. Paresh Mishkin, Rajesh, NAIK, Vinay Palekar, Manoj Kherde, Gunjikar, Abrar, SUDIN, KAMAT, Jadav, Virnotkar, and Ram. This formed a team of 16 young boys who went on to win the under-17 cricket at that time. Notable contributions by everybody indeed. As I mentioned, the great coach Mohinder Singh Bedi, under whose guidance we played and won, and at that instance we learned how to win games. Before that, we used to go to a comeback. Losses were a part and parcel of our lives. Suddenly we learned to win games. We not only won games, we won the finals. Under 17 laid the foundation for Goan cricket as to people started taking us seriously. People started believing that Goa cannot be treated as they used to be before. People in Goa could play. That laid the foundation. That particular tournament changed lives of people. Most of the people who played that particular under-17 tournament went on to play far more cricket. They went on to become Ranji cricketers, and they performed very well. For me, unfortunately, if I may say, I left cricket after this tournament. This was my last tournament I played for Goa. After that, I left. And incidentally, I got reconnected to all these people after 30 years. And between 1990 and 2019, I had no connect to any of them. Now and then I used to meet Mishra, but other than Arvind, I have not met anybody. So for me, it was an overwhelming experience to be in the same company of such great players. And I wish to thank Ambey for this initiative which he took, where he invited me to this group, gave me due credit for being a part of the team, and it's such a great experience once again getting connected to all these people, all these great cricketers who have done so well, who have given so much to the game. Still Rajesh, NAIK, Sandesh, Dhuri, Ambey, Parwatkar are still connected to the game. SUDIN, KAMAT has been part of the GCA. I think Prashant Kakode was also part of the GCA. So all these people have given lots of time, lots of energy, lots of contribution to this game of cricket and to Goa. And Mohinder Singh Bedi, I wish to thank you for being who you are and teaching Goans how to win. Vinod Damaskar, my first coach, always a fitness fanatic. At that time, I was not so focused on fitness, but I should say that I don't miss a day getting onto the track now at this age of 45. But thanks to you that you showed us the importance of what fitness is. So a great team, great people, great friends, and thank you very much. This has been an awesome experience sharing the anecdotes of what happened almost 30 years back. I wish you all the best, friends. You guys are all rocking, you guys are all great, and I wish you all the very best in your lives. Thank you.
As Mangu has just concluded his expressive speech, or as I say, expressive memories, I happened to drive, and listening to him, I was getting little goosebumps. I happened to drive and reach home. And continuing, I'm going to go in details, and especially thanking for recognition and thanking each and every instrumental part who has played in our victory. With the selectors, we had Nagaraja as also a manager who guided us many a times here, Nagaraja sir. And there was Damaskar sir was the chairman of selectors at that particular time. Also our mentor who selected the team and who took up the challenge to, as we were the host It was a lot of responsibility on him. Sharad Pendekar sir also was there. And we had our president was Prashant Joshi sir, who was at that particular time honoring the association. Sanjay Katkar sir was our secretary, I guess, or treasurer. I don't exactly remember. So these were the main key features over there. Of course, as I talked about Mohinder Singh Bedi, and everyone is always talking of Mohinder Singh Bedi in this particular victory, who made everything possible for us. Of course, we have to thank Chede sir also, who has put those basic and concrete things behind us to be capable of seeing that particular victorious day. Of course, to him. And we had this venue, this Margaon venue. We played 2 games on Alem, and then, as Mangu has told, we played in MCC. So whatever we do in Margaon, we just enjoy it, because MCC is such an environment, very boisterous and whatever, all the stress, and they make you feel so comfortable. We had people who were supporting the crowd, the Sham, who was in the canteen, and then there was Deepak Raikar sir always cheering us. Dilip DESAI sir also was there, and we had so many of them in Margaon. The press was so buoyant in this particular tournament. It was covered like a live coverage. We had great support from all these factors. So we had the venue, which was very important, which was very supporting. And what else I could say? As I start with the players, I talked about Mangesh. Mangesh was our under-12 Goa's captain and good hard-hitting batsman later on. And he went on to he was regularly a vice captain most of the time under Arvind Mishra, very close pal of Arvind Mishra at that particular. Always he has been a good close pal of Arvind Mishra. Today he runs a shipping company. He runs a lot of moving around the world, settled down in Singapore. So what I'm trying to talk of each one, I'm going to tell that each one of the boys who took part in that tournament were fighters, what I could suggest, and went on to make big name for whatever they took up to. Not just the famous guys, even the fighting guys, even the new guys, everybody were involved in some extraordinary thing. Coming to Prashant Kakode, he has been our captain. He was our captain at that particular time for many tournaments. Under 15, he took care of us. Under 17, Prashant Kakode always played his pivotal role here and there and got some runs whenever required. He had this. He used to play initially before starting the season ball cricket. He used to play tennis ball cricket. So he had this knack of winning, and he was playing for the top teams in Goa. Knack of winning. So he just wanted to win. And he had those small, sharp moments, what he could know and read, tactics here and there, and he had his own ways. So Prashant Kakode, he also went on to serve GCA at much larger scale, and secretary and many other things for GCA, and runs his chain of restaurants for a long time. Coming to Sudin is pinging me. Sudin KAMAT. Sudin was the hero, and he went on to play he came into India camp at that particular time, went on to play Ranji Trophy, many victories for Goa. The first victory which Goa won against Karnataka, Ranji Trophy, he was a part of it. And Sudin KAMAT was one bowler who could move the ball both the sides. He had little pace at that particular time. And he was a very hard-hitting batsman who would come in the middle and later order or middle order, and he would change the course of the game. Sudin KAMAT was very important character. Let's hear from Sudin. He's trying to reach out to us. He wants to say something.
Hi guys. First of all, thank you Ambey for starting this group. It's almost 31 years now since we have created a mark in Goan cricket. Our first ever victory in under 17. Like Mangi said, it did change the life of many cricketers. Definitely it changed my life after that, and also Goan cricket was respected after this victory. Before that we used to just go just to get over with the matches. We used to lose most of the matches. And after this victory, we had lot of respect. We gained lot of respect in the south. No more people took us as the underdogs. And the victory was not because of any individual performance, but it was a team effort. Everybody, every single guy, every single player of ours contributed in this victory to create history. Secondly, what I want to say is, we were well coached by our mentor cum coach Mohinderpal Singh Bedi. Sir, if you are watching this video, I want to touch your feet and say thanks to you for creating our careers with your blessings. I want to thank and congratulate Prashant Kakode, who led us from the front, and also players like all the players, but I would like to mention players like Rajesh NAIK, Sandesh DESAI, Sandesh Dhuri, Ambey Parwatkar, Vinay Palekar, our very own Zaifar, Virnodkar, Pani, and everybody. Mangesh, you are part of the team. Although you left after the tournament, you were part of history. The matches we played, the first, I remember every single day of the second match, how it happened. And then also the finals where we beat Hyderabad. No one would have thought at that time that Goa would win this title, but we were destined to create history. I want to thank all the teammates. You guys are now scattered all over the world, working hard to look after your families. I want to thank each one of you for supporting me whenever we played cricket, for being part of the history which Goa created 31 years back. It did change Goa's attitude towards cricket. After the victory, we were playing to win matches. So, congratulations to each one of you. Because of your efforts, Goa believed in themselves. I was proud to be part of the team. And one more thing I want to say is, thank you, Ambey, for bringing all of us together. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thanks, Sudin, for those wonderful words. Continuing about Sudin, he was trying to poke in between. Sudin KAMAT is an active servant for BJP, also served GCA as a secretary, and he's running his own business. For a long time, his electrical business is a shop in Benjamin. Is very well known figure in the state of Goa. Continuing with Sandesh Dhuri. Sandesh Dhuri was one person who was always part of a South Zone. He and Arvind Mishra, always part of the South Zone team. Whichever tournament they played, they could get those runs under 15, under 16, and always regular in the South Zone. Known figure. So only the person, whenever we went to play our tour, the person opposite teams always know at that particular time, initially at least, was Sandesh Dhuri. Sandesh Dhuri runs his own academy in Oman and is a known figure, represented Oman in internationals cricket. Very youngest brother of the Duris, but well-known figure in Oman and has plans, creative, cricketive, innovative person. Also, his daughter is doing well, I guess, in the girls' cricket. That's our SANDESH Duri. We had, actually I should have taken his name first before anybody. My first captain and first captain to have won the game for Goa under 15, Arvind Mishra. Arvind Mishra was the most talented personality at the team at that particular time in Goa. Table tennis player, educationist, good orator, good cricketer. Kisi ko to nazar lagi, looks like, and we lost him a couple of years back. He had met with a drastic accident, fought it hard to live for some long years. Very nice person, very charming person, very creative in whatever he got involved in. Arvind Mishra was like also was a leg spinner. When I started leg spinning, he was the leg spinner and he had just come from South Zone camp. But he was a very helpful character, you know. Later on, I took on as the main leg spinner and Arvind took over the batting. He was an opening batsman, got a lot of runs. As Mangu has told detail about every match, I'm not going. So late Arvind Mishra, and due respects from each one of us, we really love you wherever you are sitting in heaven. Abrar Khan was a surprise package. Abrar got 100 against Andhra Pradesh in the first game and was the highest scorer of runs in that tournament. He got runs in the finals as well in both the innings, I guess. He was good off the wicket. He was good on. We always call he was performing on the ground and off the ground. We always call Abrar like that. Very nice, jolly character from Margao, from Kepe basically. He also came to Dubai, worked with a good company here, and then currently he's the selector of Goa junior team, I guess. Abrar Khan, he got runs in Ranji Trophy also. He got 100 in Ranji Trophy as well. Talking about Rajesh Naik. Rajesh Naik, he could not play the last final game. When Rajesh Naik was going for South Zones, like I was literally after him, Rajesh, come on. We were so innocent at that particular time. This is important man final. Why are you going for the camp? But he had to go because that was much more priority for him, for his career. And we really missed him in the finals. And when Sachin Yadav came in, Sachin Yadav was a medium pacer and a batsman. And we had never seen much of him happening. But when he came in the squad, we were worried like how without Rajesh the team would be playing. But each of the top 5 batsmen, as Mangu said, made up for it. Sachin Yadav was a good all-rounder, good fielder, lanky person, bold medium pace, steady bowling. I could not see much of him. He's doing well also in his personal life, by God's grace. I just got into touch with him on the Facebook 2 days back. And that was much about Sachin Yadav. Talking about Rajesh Naik. Rajesh Naik was from Vene and he used to be one of the hardest working cricketers we had at that time. And I literally remember Rajesh Naik went on to play for board president's level. One of the highest feats achieved by any of the Goans at that particular time, other than Namdev Forte. And then of course there are many cricketers, Swapnil, KAKODKAR, who later on went, but Rajesh Naik went on to play for board president's level. He was one of the formidable batsmen, very defensive, very concrete batsman. We called him Wall, as Mangu has told. So I don't want to talk much. Rajesh Naik is also running a restaurant in London. He's in England right now. And he's doing well, always concerned about what's happening in Goan cricket. Next to talk is about Sandesh. Sandesh has been pinning me. I'm wearing Emirates cap. Sandesh, Emirates. I know it belongs to you. Sandesh was a very good left-arm spinner. If we had played the right time, he would have played much more for Goa and much more even further down. He was a team man, basically did the job for the team, going economic spells here and there. We were 3 spinners, Sandesh, myself and Manoj. I'll come to Manoj later on. Sandesh was a handy batsman also. Many innings he played for junior cricket as well as I think in one-day cricket for Goa. where he has saved the innings for the day for Goa, the state team. So Sandesh Desai, he was employed in Emirates here in Dubai, and he did play for Emirates. He has completed his course in umpiring. He sometimes does the umpiring here in Dubai. Sandesh Desai was a formidable attack which of the spinners which Mohinder Singh Bedi depended upon. Talking about Manoj Kharde. See, it was like a three good spinners. Myself, Manoj Kharde bowling off breaks, and Sandesh bowling left arm spin, and myself bowling leggies. We had more leggies also. We're not used as part-time. Sandesh Duri, Vinay Palekar, as well as Arvind Mishra. But these were the three basic spinners whom the team depended upon. And to go to say, Manoj Kharde, he was really unlucky not to get a game of Ranji Trophy, but he was one of the best spinners go ahead. The likes of, at that particular time, Hemant Angle was not doing good, Suresh Mahadev and Rajan Kamli. And certainly, before Nitin Kalekar took over, I think Manoj Kharde was the best we had at that particular time. And very unlucky not to get a game of Ranji Trophy, and even that time. He would take 5 wickets, 4 wickets, 3 wickets continuous. He had wickets of, I think he had taken 4 wickets against Tamil Nadu in the first innings in the same under 17. So Manoj Kharde had those faster ones, very good off spinner. He's a CEO of one of the leading companies in Goa, and he's doing well as well. So this is how what I'm trying to state is. Sandesh is speaking, so Sandesh wants to say something. So please, Sandesh, shoot man.
Hi guys. Ambey, this is for you. This is one of the best victories Goa have ever produced till date. The reason I'm saying it because that particular team, the under 17, 87 team, had all Goans. Under the able guidance of Mr. Mohinder Singh Bedi, who left no stone unturned to make sure that we win the tournament. I think he was part of the team which were runners up the earlier year. I'm not very sure about that because I was not part of it. But this particular team, he made it believe in themselves that we could go all the way. Yes, of course, individual brilliance counted, thanks to the fiery spell of SUDIN KAMAT and brilliant knocks by Vinay Palekar, Abrar Khan, Sandesh Duri, Rajesh NAIK, and some good bowling by Kakode, Karde, leggies from Mishra. Yeah, I think all pitched in and did their bit. Yes, and I feel it's time for all of us to get together and meet at that iconic ground at MCC and revive the old memories with that kind of an ambience which we'll never get ever in Goan cricket. So I'll see you on the other side when we meet for a small get together or a quite a game sort of it. Yeah, so catch you later guys, and all the best. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandesh. Your inroads to the show the video was very good. Thank you very much. Rajesh has been trying to reach out to me since the time. It's like almost live, man. What's happening? It's VRs in there in UK, but he's trying to reach out. Please, Rajesh, we can go on with what you want to say.
Good afternoon, guys. As Ambey has requested a small clip for the under 17, guys, I just wanted to say that it was a great team effort. Very memorable times. Very good individual brilliances from SUDIN, Abrar, Sandesh Duri, and very nicely led by Kakode. overall, I felt even Bedi sir, it was indeed a great victory. Unfortunately, I had to go. I couldn't attend the finals. But when I heard about the victory, it was great, victory indeed. Just wanted to say here about the under-17 is one thing. It's very clear that it was a team effort. No one thought about anything else but working for Goa. And here I also remember is MCC. It is an iconic ground for me because every time I played at MCC, the support we received from the people who came there to watch was brilliant. Especially I think of Deepak Raikar, who used to clap and shout, and his voice is even, now and then ring in my ears. So yes, Ambey, for me, under 17 is always been a very memorable tournament, and my best wishes to all of the under 17 guys. Okay, that's my memory, going into my memory lane. Cheers.
Thank you, Rajesh, for your melodious kind of floating inroads and making it look so interesting while expressing yourself. Thank you very much. We missed you in the finals. You had to go for the Southern game. But yes, you're part of us all the time, and you are a history man. You have created Goa's history for cricket. Awesome, Rajesh. Continuing my detailing, talking about Paresh Miskin. Paresh Miskin is, we call him Pani, the second brother after Balkrishna Miskin. Of course, Balkrishna Miskin, a very famous figure for Goa and one of the hardest hitter of the ball. But Pani was taken a dual role for the team. He was supposed to be the third medium pacer as well as a all-rounder, and he could just open or he could get in the middle order. Bedi sir had a lot of hopes in Pani all the way, and he did prove it in a couple of games in the finals and as well as against Andhra Pradesh or against Tamil Nadu in the second innings. He did play a classy of innings. He didn't get to bowl much because even in the final game, which was on the matting, we brought in, we were dropped in Sandesh and we brought in Sachin Yadav. It was like a new news to us because of the matting wicket, I guess. But we did not use Sachin as well in the finals. Now coming back to Pani. Pani is an awesome all-rounder. I think he went on to play Ranji Trophy for Goa as well, and he did quite well. Very handy cricketer, good fielder, happening personality. He has moved on and I think he takes care of the SSG grounds in Pedem, and he's been doing long time service. I did meet him during the 2008 Ranji Trophy practice session there. Paresh Miskin, and then we had a chat show as well. Paresh Miskin, you were awesome, man. Going forward with the team, most senior cricketer also with Mangesh, KAKODKAR, also there is Vinay Palekar. Vinay Palekar was part of the MRF medium pace foundation, the first batch along with Sachin Tendulkar, and when they had started that in Madras. Went on to become a leg spinner, and then mostly when he played for the under 17 side, he was playing as a batsman, more of a batsman, middle order batsman. And he did his role justice all the way through. As Mangu has very detailed about him, I don't want to talk much. Palekar has done. He went on to play Ranji Trophy also for Goa. Good leg spinner. And he is working for electricity department in Goa and is doing quite well. His son is also growing big and making inroads, trying to get into the cricketing circle in the junior levels. Coming back and moving on with the three, other than Mangesh, we had the three benchers who did not get to play a game. Now, Ram Prabhu Desai, Sahis Gunjikar and Sachin Yadav did not get, Sachin played, Ram Prabhu Desai and Sahis Gunjikar. Sahis Gunjikar was a tall, lanky person, keen, good opening batsman. He was understudy, taken by surprise at that particular time, but very good batsman, did not get a game to play. Because the plan was such that the 11 to 12 players who were supposed to play had to do their roles, and they're not under pressure. That the bench was good, We had Sayesh Gunjikar, I think he's an educationist now, working in a school, or I don't know much details about him, but what little I learned about him, he was a good cricketer. And we had Ram Prabhu Desai, very good off spinner who turned the ball a lot. With at that particular time, a lot of off spinners were making noise to get in the junior side. There was Jayesh Sargaonkar, who was just represented under 15, and then there was Suraj Moraska. There was many Samir Kavrekar bowling off break as well as opening batting. But then Ram Prabhu Desai was picked up from Margao, and I think he did not play much cricket after this particular tournament. Ram Prabhu Desai, I don't know much what his existence. I don't even have his picture. The only person whom I'm missing his picture is Ram Prabhu Desai. And last, if I am not to make, we call him Zypher, as Sudin said. It was, or Mangu said, I don't know who said that, Deepak Vinodkar. Now this keeper, at that particular time we had Jaideep Apte, Hemant Bagga, Guru Parwatkar, Sanjay Netravalkar, all of these guys doing well at the junior level of cricket. But Deepak Vinodkar was picked up just because Dimas Damaskar had extreme belief in him, and he was something different. After that, he went on to play under 19, was the first keeping choice. He was an excellent keeper. Batting came second to him. He was coming late. We had a partnership, in fact, in Tamil Nadu. He did a good job. We added something 60 runs, Henry 60 runs for the last 40 or 45 runs for the last wicket, I guess. I don't remember basically. But Deepak Vinodkar was a key factor in that game, who kept us alive and who made us do the best when we had the tiring days of tiring full day, and kept us entertained as well. Good keeper. Deepak Vinodkar picture also I don't have, and I am not aware he's doing something in the travel business in Goa and tourism, I guess. And this was the side. Now, concluding my show, or what I consider video, as not a show as such. Concluding my video, what I want to stress on is this: if you go to see the figures, one instance I want to tell, we had taken, it was both the games, Andhra and Tamil Nadu, we were down under and we came. But in the finals, we had actually taken a first inning lead of 70. Now normally what happens when you take a first inning lead of 70, we don't want to go outright. This is a talk between, nobody knows about, this is a talk between me and Prashant Kakode. And we were so relaxed at the end of the second day that we have the lead of the first innings, and we won the trophy. When I walked down, when I was in the room, or I think moving in the bus, I was talking to Prashant at that particular time. I said, Prashant, we already won the final. So he said, no, I don't want to win the final like this. Let's win. I said, why? Let's win it outright. Look at the final bowling figures, last second innings of Goa. Prashant Kakode bowls 13 overs, SUDIN KAMAT bowls 12 overs, and 25 overs bowled by just 2 bowlers. And they win the game for you. Prashant takes 5, 2 run-outs, and 3 SUDIN KAMAT. Now this kind of ability, the commitment, the enduration to win the game doesn't happen in the modern cricket. And this doesn't happen actually. What I'm finding in, what I found in that, the commitment to win the game. Like, those days Kapil Dev, Srinath, all had the same kind of thing, where they would bowl and bowl and bowl till the team was victory. But it doesn't happen in the modern cricket, because they do take care of the players more than what the results are. So this I kept on telling during my 2008 campaign with Ranji Trophy, that the commitment level, these boys, each one of us, about me, yes, of course I'm serving the game as much as I can do, and serving the sports fraternity of Goa and anywhere in the world, whenever I can meet people and talk more and try to give back to the sports. Yes, I do have achieved playing here and there small first-class games. One first-class game, and playing for about, being in the squad for about 4 first-class teams around the world and in my country. And I'm doing well at my work, and I'm doing something small times here and there, and I'm being recognized. And I'm very helpful to understand that the God is watching us, and He's taking good care of us. Maybe the difficult times I had earlier, understanding with the association, moving out in Bombay and coming back, a lot of things had happened. Coming back to the under-17 campaign. This under-17 campaign was like a under siege kind of a thing, where we sieged the opportunity to become stars. We were stars. We were reckoned by the ministers Subhash Shirodkar was the minister that time, and Churchill Anima, I think, was the chief minister. Subhash Shirodkar was the sports minister. We were awarded by the Sports Authority of Goa few goodies here and there and some amount of cash, 1,000 rupees, I think, at that particular time. But we were recognized. And these boys, each one of us, not to say, went on to make name here and there, and that gives us pride. And today, I have on my group of this Goan champion group, which of course we are going to have a get together also very soon. Once the Corona and the lockdown and all this ends, we are going to have our get together. But what keeps us together is the commitment level. Boys are here and there, all scattered everywhere. England, someone in Oman, someone in Singapore, someone in Dubai, someone in Panjim, Margao, everywhere. But the integrity is awesome even today. There are 15 of us on the group who are rocking every day. We're fighting every day. We have our own views of things together. That was the spirit. Under 17, we made news, not for just under 17. We made news for Goan sports. We made news for Goan cricket fraternity, who went on to march ahead on the count what we had done. We thank you. And each one of us, on behalf of everyone, we thank Goa Cricket Association also, and everyone who has been listening to this. Thank you very much.